Amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Okay, so what do we have? What do we got? Tell me all about it.
Okay, I mean this is pretty bad. I can't hear very well. Um, so the woman on her own did a loan mod before Cassandra ever spoke to her.
Okay.
She got approved for the loan mod. They sent her the paperwork. She signed the paperwork. She returned the paperwork via fax. She returned the paperwork via mail. That in and of itself caused two files to be opened, and they took forever to reconcile the fact that it was the same file. And now they finally reconciled that. But then when she returned the shit, it wasn't actually notarized.
Okay, so from the very beginning, what we have is we have a subject to deal with the seller who is in arrears. They're behind on payments. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so the seller is behind on their payments. How much money?
Like 24,000.
Okay, so they're behind on their payments, $24,000. Does that include the trustee fees and all the fees and penalties and stuff, or is it just the late payments? If you have to say you immediately trigger something in my brain that says that does not include the fees.
Well, I mean, we have her mortgage statement. I don't know if they include that.
Okay, so great lesson for everybody here is when you get a mortgage statement and somebody's in foreclosure, the mortgage is not reflecting what they actually owe. Because once somebody actually goes into foreclosure, what happens is the bank hires a trustee, and the trustee has their own fees, their own penalties, and all that kind of stuff that usually average between $5,000 and $7,000. So you need to add that to whatever the arrears are from the mortgage.
Hold on. She's not actually in foreclosure yet. She was in forbearance.
Okay, but she's behind on her payments.
Right, but she was never actually put into foreclosure.
Okay, got it.
She went through all the steps for code forbearance. She did all the steps. She just, whenever they did the loan mod, she didn't get it notarized. So it was never technically approved, I guess, or finalized.
Okay, so you're basically what you're in a situation on right now is that you're in a situation where you've got this house under contract subject to. Meaning you have the ability to take over this lady's mortgage.
Correct.
The loan modification did not work out because the lady's a knucklehead, and whoever is working the file, not you, Melissa, but somebody prior, maybe the seller themselves, the seller did not do her loan modification properly. So now you're in a situation as if the loan modification should not even have been done or even tried because they sucked at it. Right?
Well, maybe they haven't denied her. They just said they're not going to review it until August 10th.
Got it. Okay, so they're not going to review this until August 10th. Got it. Now, if this house is in forbearance, but it's not in foreclosure, then we're not really worried about this house getting foreclosed on. Is that correct?
If they deny okay. So as I understand it, when the loan mod happens, then she's in the trial period. So the original loan mod date was April the 1st.
Yep.
But because of the weird, she sent it back twice and blah, 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 nobody ever reviewed it. It was just locked up and just a nonsense, status. And they have told her that they will not change the status until this October 10th date. Now, they've shown that she's been calling them and emailing them all this time through April.
Okay, so I'm trying to keep this really simple because we're none of any of that matters.
Okay, well, it's just whether they are going to just accept it and move forward or start all over.
If they accept it, she goes. If they accept the loan modification, they give her a check mark. Then they basically come in. They go, okay, this is good. Loan mod's good. Now you enter into the trial period. Trial period typically
all takes over again, though.
Oh yeah.
Or was it April 1st?
No, it starts from the day that they grant the loan modification.
Right, they did grant the loan. That's the whole thing.
Then what? Then what are we talking about here?
Her acceptance of the loan mod, right? So they say, yes, we approve you for a loan mod. Accept it. Like she's supposed to accept the terms. And her literal signature to accept it, that's what's fucked up.
Okay, she just didn't notarize it.
Right.
Okay, so we can notarize it and send it over?
That's what they won't tell us until August 10th.
Okay, got it. So here we are, a month away from August 10th. You can take this property over either subject to by closing on it, and you would have to catch up the $24,000 in arrears. Okay. Is the seller going to get any cash?
$8,000.
Okay. Seller's getting $8,000. The people that are doing the deal with you, are they assigning the deal to you?
Right.
And how much are they making?
20.
They're making 20. Okay. So we've got a situation where we've got $24,000 in arrears, $8,000 in cash to the sellers, $20,000 to the person who found this creative deal, which that's pretty dope. It's their first deal. By the way, when somebody tells you guys, Melissa and Molly, I don't know if you guys know this, but we're live. So stop picking your nose.
Okay.
So Melissa's like, dang it.
Well, you're just seeing my wall.
Yeah. So what?
Okay.
The wall looks pretty dope. It looks like you took a level to the wall and you actually were like hung those paintings up correctly.
Right.
Most people would have screwed that up. Okay. So $20,000. When I hear wholesalers, okay, when I hear wholesalers out there that are educators saying, oh, start with wholesale first, don't jump into creative finance. The person who's assigning this deal to you, Melissa, it's their first deal ever. And they're making 20 grand on an impossible deal. Is that correct?
Well, they're JV splitting it, but yes.
There's $20,000 being made on a creative finance wholesale deal.
Yep.
Got it. Melissa, that's pretty dope. Okay, so there's an assignment that you are paying because you're the buyer.
Correct.
And you're going to pay $20,000 to the assignment fee. You're going to pay $8,000 to the seller, $24,000 to the arrears. Closing costs are probably going to be somewhere around $4,000 when you buy it. And your question right now is you're saying, well, it's July 13th. We won't hear back from the bank until August 10th. And who knows what they're going to say. So do we want to waste a month of our life? Okay. I don't want to waste a month of my life waiting for the bank. So your question is two things. One, should we just raise the capital? Because you're going to do all of this without any of your own money, it sounds like. Raise the capital and wipe out the arrears, get the seller paid, get the assignment paid, get all that, everybody paid and out of the way, and then forget about the loan modification and the forbearance. Forget about all that stuff because you could just get it done, right?
Yep.
But what's that going to cost? What's my total cash that I need to bring to this? How do I have to go get somebody and raise money for this?
Like total cost to pay the arrears or total cost for the entire deal?
Melissa, let's say that you go to an investor right now.
Yep.
And the investor says, yeah, I'd love to lend money to you. What's the total amount that you need to give them?
$85,000.
$85,000. There you go. This, guys, the $85,000 is the entry fee to this. I get so many people that are like, oh, the entry fee is the down payment or the arrears or catching up. No, it's not. The entry fee is the total amount that Melissa needs to get this deal done. Is that correct, Melissa?
Correct.
It's not $85,001. It's $85,000.
Well, it might be $85,001, but I don't have it open in front of me.
Okay, so number one, you've got seller gets cash, and that's $8,000.
Correct.
Number two, you've got arrears that are let's just say 25,000. Number three, you've got an assignment that you're paying to a wholesaler, one of our other students, which is awesome. Somebody's making 20 grand on assigning a creative deal to you. You got to love this. Creative finance is absolutely the game. People that are trying to learn wholesale, guys, right now, good luck. Have fun. Good luck. Good luck. Okay, so number four, I've got closing costs because I'm Melissa, let's say in this situation, and I've got to pay closing costs to actually transfer the deed into my name. And then Melissa, you got 5, 6, and 7. Number 5 is renovation costs. What's my renovation cost on this?
25.
Okay, 25, which means it's probably 35.
Well, I don't think so.
I mean, you flipped houses before, Melissa.
Right, that's already got padding in it.
Oh, 25 already got padding on it?
Yeah.
Okay, if Melissa says that, I believe her. But most people say, oh, reno's 25. I don't believe them. Okay, so then I've got that, plus I've got what we'll call runway money. Runway money means while I own this property and I'm renovating it. So anybody that's watching right now, this is going to be a novation agreement, I think, or a subtail. Okay. These two things are actually very, very similar. The difference between a subtail and a novation agreement is the novation agreement, Melissa never receives the deed. She never takes over the deed. In a subtail, Melissa would actually take the deed, become the owner, wipe out anybody and get them all out of the way so she can just have this property without any issues. So I'm kind of thinking this is probably going to end up being a subtail deal, not a novation agreement. But let's say I have a runway. What's my monthly payment on this sub 2 deal?
$699.
$699. Awesome. And it's going to take us probably 4 months to renovate and then turn around and sell it to a family and have their little escrow on the back end, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to say that my runway cost is going to be about $3,000. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little buffer on here for just some little bit of miscellaneous, probably another $5,000 of buffer. Okay. So my entry fee is 8. So I'm 33. I'm 53, 58. I am 78, 83, 84. I am $88,000 is what my entry fee is to this subtail deal. So what is the mortgage balance that you are taking over, Melissa?
Separate from the arrears or combined?
Well, if I catch up the arrears through my entry fee.
Okay. It's 90,900.
Okay, so my remaining balance on the mortgage is 90,900. So technically what I'm buying the house for, I'm going to be all into this thing. It looks like $178,900 after closing costs, after renovations, after everything. I'm going to be into this property $178,900. What is my after repair value? What will the property sell for after I renovate it and I'm all into at $178,900?
$235.
What?
$235.
Okay. $235,000. Okay, so we've got basically between your 178 and your 235, it looks like you've got about, I'm just going to say a $60,000 spread. Okay, you got a $60,000 spread, but we all know it's going to cost you money to sell the property. So we'll take another $22,000 off of that to sell the property. So it looks like you could walk out of this thing making $38,000 on a subtail deal using none of your own money.
Right.
That's the route I would go.
Right.
I wouldn't waste my time with a novation agreement, because in a novation agreement on this specific deal, you would not be trying to pay off the arrears. Now, like one of the first novation agreements that I ever walked somebody else through, DJ Martin, we extended the foreclosure like 120 days. So we gave him 4 months of an extension on the foreclosure. So there's no forbearance. There's nothing up in the air. There was nothing where I was sitting there going, I wonder if the bank's going to do this or that or any of that. There's none of that. Like the bank had already given us an extension of 120 days. So it made sense that DJ just was like, let's do a novation and I don't need to catch up the arrears. But in this situation, we don't know what the bank's going to do. And you've got a contract and you've got a seller and you've got all sorts of things. What is the number one thing that kills deals, Melissa?
Paperwork.
Number one thing that kills deals is time. Time kills all deals. So what happens is when you get a seller committed and you get the wholesaler committed and the buyer committed and you've got all these people, for a very short duration, everybody's interests are aligned. But what happens is the seller's life changes, something pops up, maybe somebody says something to them, same thing with the wholesaler. There's so many things that start kind of vibrating these people away from having an alignment on a transaction. And so if you just sit here and wait from July 13th all the way until August 10th, time can kill this deal. The other thing that can kill this deal, okay, Wilfred says, did you say wholesaling is not the way to go at this time? Guys, if you think that the smart way to get into real estate is by learning how to just wholesale and do cash offers, good luck. In fact, anybody that's just teaching wholesaling right now, the name of their mentorship should be called the Good Luck Mentorship. Because when you buy into their mentorship, they should be handing you a 4-leaf clover and putting a leprechaun in your pocket. Good effing luck. It ain't happening. You got to know novation agreements. You got to know subject to, seller finance, wraps. You have to know lease options. You have to know this stuff, or you will get completely wiped out in the next 36 to 60 months. You just will. Case in point, Melissa is doing a subtail, something that I created years ago. Subject to, buying it subject to, and taking it retail. This is why we call it subtail. So wholesale is super important because the person who's bringing this deal to Melissa is another one of my students who understands how to communicate to a seller about creative finance, get it into a creative finance contract, and then wholesale that creative finance contract to Melissa and make $20,000. In that situation, then yeah, learn what wholesale is, but good luck. Good luck. It ain't happening, dog. Creative finance is going to dominate and is currently, you guys are seeing the shift right now. You're seeing the shift with your sellers right now. So what I would do in this situation, Melissa, it sounds like the smart thing to do is say, time kills all deals. I don't want to wait for the loan modification. Yes, no, or maybe. I'd rather just get the deal closed, have control of escrow. I'm sorry, have control of the deed. So Melissa Smith is the owner. Get the seller to move on mentally. Get the wholesaler to move on mentally. Get everybody out of your way, and you just go do the subtail.
Sounds great. Yep.
Now, where would a novation benefit you? A novation would benefit you that you wouldn't have to raise that $88,000. The novation would benefit you that you would probably have to raise about $30,000 of that $88,000. But you plan on doing this entire deal where you're going to make $38,000 to $40,000. You plan on doing this whole deal without any of your own money. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yep.
You know what? We should just stick to wholesale. Just kidding. Guys, I'm starting a wholesale mentorship. It's called Good Luck Mentorship. Oh my gosh. All right. So we wholesale. But guys, I'm telling you, it's not that I don't wholesale. It's that if you don't know how to wholesale creative finance deals and you don't know anything else other than wholesale, you're going to be one of these people who says, Pace, I can't seem to scale in my business. Every time I get a deal, I lock one up and then I don't get another one for 2 or 3 months. David Elston says, is she going to have to pay to borrow the money? Of course. But we put a $5,000 buffer on that for that type of stuff. We already calculated all that stuff in. I just did it really quickly. So, Melissa, that's my take on it. I would say go do a subtail, not a novation agreement.
All right. Very good. Sounds great.
And there's, by the way, a cash offer could not have gotten this deal done. Somebody locked it up as a subject to deal. They're making 20 grand. And they wholesaled it to Melissa, making that $20,000 assignment fee. And Melissa is going to go and make $40,000, which your profit on the deal will be almost 17% profit on this deal with no money out of your pocket.
$1,000 EMD. That's it. Yep.
But Melissa, it's impossible to do fix and flips without any of your own money, without any of your own credit, without job history. You know, it's impossible.
Yeah, if you don't try, I guess that's true.
There you go. I love that. Melissa, that's my take. And
right.
I would call Molly because it sounds like Molly couldn't get on this right away. And we'll do a part 2. Go close escrow on the thing. Let's get it funded. Go get your private money lender lined up. Call Molly and get the shit done.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks.
All right. Later.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Hopefully that was helpful. I just thought today sometimes I get these calls and these text messages, and these calls and text messages are like, hey, Pace, I've got a salute. I've got a problem. Can you get on the phone call with me? I'm like, yeah, I can get on the phone with you, but then you're the only person that gets the value. So I decided to go live here. Thank you for the 250 people that jumped on here. I'm going to do a follow-up to this. This is part 1 of Melissa Smith's Novation agreement. It is not a novation. It is now going to be converted to a subtail. And this is, again, look at all these situations. It's a live deal. Let's talk real shit. You guys want to learn how to do real estate? Learn from people that are actively doing it. All right. So I'm out, guys. Thank you. By the way, I'll see you at 1:30 today. I will be on Steve Trang's podcast for the 4th time today. Steve Trang's phone call, or not phone call, podcast. That's happening today. So I'll see you guys today at 1:30 Pacific. Oh, dang. I got to get over there right now. Later, guys.